Hi, I'm Mark Ryan from Skill Solutions. I'm here today to show you the financial calculator. It's the hp10bII financial calculator, and we're here at our Skill Solutions training rooms right over the road from the most beautiful picturesque setting of the Flagstaff Gardens. So I hope you enjoy watching this presentation, because we'll certainly be showing you most things to do with mortgage broking and the financial calculator. So come on this wonderful journey with us, and I'm sure we will all learn. Well, here we are down at the calculator now. Remember, it's the hp10bII hp10bII calculator. As I said before, it's recommended for the mortgage broking industry, and it's a great calculator to work with. So we start off, we'll have a real life situation, and we'll introduce a loan for 30 years, a principal amount of $200,000. That's the loan amount's $200,000, and the interest rate will be 7.5%. So the way we enter that up is our definitions. We go along the top, and we've got buttons that we need to use up there, and then we've got various buttons we use down the side, and we're starting off with 30 years. So we go 30, shift, and N. So that brings up on the screen 360, which is 360 payments that will be made. The next one we go to is the interest rate. The interest rate is 7.5%, and we put that into IYR, and you'll see it comes up as 7.50. The next amount we put in is the principal amount, the loan amount, and that's $200,000. The negative figure goes up, so we push plus or minus and then enter that to PV. So that's entered as minus 200,000. Obviously, that's a debt. That's why it's in the minus 200,000. We then go to future value, which is FV, and the future value when the loan is paid off will be obviously nil. So it's 0 and push it into future value. So the program is calculated into the calculator. Now all we need to do is push PMT, and that comes up with the answer of $1,398.43. And that's our answer for the monthly payment for that calculation of 30-year term, $200,000 at 7.5%. We now move on to interest-only payments. Now, interest-only payments, we really don't need a financial calculator at all. We can just use a normal everyday calculator for this, but we'll move on and calculate here. So we're just using the normal buttons. So we multiply the interest rate by the loan amount to calculate the total interest rate charged per annum. So we go $200,000 multiplied by 7.5% equals $15,000. Obviously that's per annum, so we need to divide that by 12 to get the monthly payment. So divided by 12 equals $1,250. And that's the payment for interest only, $200,000 at 7.5%. Okay, we now move on to fortnightly payments. Just before we move on to fortnightly payments, we'll just go over the definitions again very simply. Remember the top buttons. We've got N, which is the number of payments. We've got IYR, which is the interest calculated per year. We then have PV, which is the present value or the principal value. The next payment is, or the next one is PMT, which is the repayment. And after that is FV, which is the future value of the loan at a given time. The other relevant buttons that we need is the shift button, which is down here. And remember also the C button, and also the other one underneath. This is on to turn it off. So that's just a quick reflection on the definitions of the buttons. Okay, we move on to fortnightly payments, as I was saying before. And this is very simply exactly the same as the monthly payments, except there's one very, very big difference. We have to turn the calculator into accept fortnightly payments. So to simply do that, we look at how many fortnightly payments in a calendar year. There's 26, obviously. So 26, shift PMT, and you can see 26 comes up. This means the calculator is set to take fortnightly payments, which is 26 payments per year. So we simply go through the same calculation as we did with monthly payments, except it's now geared for fortnightly. So remember, 30 shift N is 780. That's how many payments in a year, how many fortnightly payments would be over the 30-year term. Next is the interest rate, which is 7.5 into interest. The principal value is 200,000. Don't forget the plus or minus, and into PV. So it's a negative 200,000. 0 FV, which is 0 future value, and the payment for fortnightly payments, the 200,000, is $645.14. Our next calculation is to work out fortnightly repayment savings. Is there a difference to paying monthly or paying fortnightly? That's probably one of the biggest questions you'll get asked as a mortgage broker. Is there a difference? How much saving is there? What do I say? Is there a real saving on fortnight? Well, what we'll do now is we'll prove to you now and to your client, which in turn will allow you to educate your clients, that there really is a big difference to paying fortnightly. But there's a small trick to it, and we'll now show you how to do that. So we go to our calculator, and we are still on fortnightly payments. So remember our standard payment is for 30 years, $200,000 at 7.5%. So let's just work out the fortnightly payments for that once more. So remember, we go to 30, shift N, 780 payments over 30 years, 7.5 IYR, that's the interest rate, 200,000, that's the loan amount, remember the plus or minus, and push that into PV. 0 future value, and the payment works out to be $645.14, which we've previously done. Once we've got that, we've worked out the fortnightly payment, so our calculator is there to calculate on a fortnightly basis. You'll see in our chart on page 8 that half the minimum monthly payment for the $200,000 is $699. So what we do, we enter the half minimum monthly payment into our calculator as a payment. So let's go 699 and into payment. So that's reprogramming the calculator to accept a $699 payment. And what the answer that we're after is how long will it take to pay that off? So if we push N, that'll come up with a number of payments and that is 605.81. But the question is, how many years will it take? So divide that by 26, because there's 26 payments in a year. So divided by 26 equals 23.3 years. So that's your answer. If you pay half the minimum monthly payment every fortnight, you'll save nearly 7 years off your loan. Now the question is, what's the true savings in each example? So remember this example, we've got 30 years, $200,000 at 7.5%. We've worked out that we do, by paying half the minimum monthly payment, we actually save nearly 7 years of loan payments. So we've got to work that out in mathematics to work out the exact amount that we save. So first of all, we work on the full amount that we would pay over that period of 30 years. Now, the fortnightly payment was $645.14. So 645.14 multiplied by 780, which is the amount of payments that we pay over that 30-year period, equals 503.209.20. Let's just write that down. 503.209.20. So that's the full amount paid. Next amount we have to work out is our saved amount. So what will that be? Well, the half minimum monthly payment is $699. So 699 multiplied by, now remember the amount, the payment that we worked out, the new payment that we worked out, and that was in step 3 of our last calculation, and that worked out to be 605.81 payments. So we multiply it by 605.81, and that equals 461.19. 461.19. Take that away from that original figure, and that is, excuse my subtraction here, takes me a while to take that away, but the answer is, you probably beat me to it, was $79,748.01. Now, just enter that in as 2B, and that's the answer. That's the true savings, $79,748.01. Won't your clients be happy when you're able to tell them how much they saved simply by paying half the monthly payment? Okay, we've done that calculation, and I'm sure you've been able to continue that on with the other amounts that they ask in the book. You'll also see in the book with question 2 directly under that last calculation, which factor makes the greater impact on reducing the term of a loan? Paying the minimum fortnightly repayment, or paying half the minimum monthly repayment fortnightly? Know the answer? Yes, of course, it's B, isn't it? Paying half the minimum monthly repayment fortnightly. So you can put that in. And the next question will be question 4, which is over on page 10. And that question is, what has more impact on the term of a loan? The extra amount you pay off a loan, whether it be monthly or fortnightly, or the time that you choose to make your repayment? I hope you put down A and that's the extra amount you pay off a loan, whether it be monthly or fortnightly. That extra amount really does make the difference. Question 5, is there any benefit in paying the minimum fortnightly or minimum weekly repayment? Well, unfortunately, there's not as much gain as paying weekly to fortnightly that there is fortnightly to monthly, because as we know, there's 52 weeks in a year and 26 fortnights. So therefore, roughly the same amount is being paid. However, there will be a small, and that is small, interest saving, which doesn't mean much. So it really is not worthwhile doing. But to answer the question, yes, there is a small saving. Our next question is calculating monthly fees and working an effective rate on those fees. Interest rates can often be deceiving when some products attract monthly fees, while others charge none. The following process demonstrates how to calculate the effective rate, taking into account any monthly fees that are being charged. So let's see if you can follow us on this calculation. We'll go to our standard calculation, which is 30 years at 7.5% for an amount of $200,000 with a monthly fee of $8 a month. Now remember our payments from the calculator last time, we were calculating fortnightly payments, weren't we? So now they're now asking monthly payments. So we have to convert our calculator back to calculating monthly payments. Now there are 12 months in a year, so all we do is we enter 12, shift, PMT, and that brings it back to calculating monthly payments. So let's put down our calculation. We've got 30, shift, N. We've got 7.5% into IYR. We've got $200,000. Don't forget the minus into PV. We've got 0 into future value, and the standard payment, do you remember it? It's $1398.43, isn't it? So that's what's come up. Now, we have a monthly fee of $8. So we go plus 8 equals 1406.43. So that is the repayment required when there's an $8 monthly fee. To work out the effective rate, we simply enter that figure, the 1406.43, as the new payment into PMT, and then we push the IYR to find out the effective rate. So IYR, and that's 7.56, which is the effective rate of a monthly fee. Okay, we're moving along here. We're certainly getting the niche of the financial calculator. Remember, it's the hp 10bII financial calculator that we're using. The next thing we're going to cover is calculating the cost savings when a client pays extra off their home loan. We're not even actually going to use the financial calculator here. We'll simply rest it, and what we'll do is refer to the book, and we go to our favourite calculation, which is the 30-year loan, $200,000, an interest rate of 7.5%, plus a monthly fee of $8. The client wants to pay an extra $400 a month. We need to calculate the savings on that. So you will notice in the example in the book that remember that what we worked out, where the answer was $1,406, I think 43 cents, and the effective rate was 7.56%. So we go, and how do we work out the savings? Well, you can see the example here. They've rounded it off. They haven't included the cents here, but the payment plus $400 equals a payment of $1,806. Working out the number of payments from that, because we know how to do that, and that was 189.08. So therefore 189.08 by 1806 equals $341,478. So that was the payment that would have been made, that's made with the extra payments. So notice it's taken a lot from the term of the loan by just nearly back to half. So we've got 360 payments as well. By 1,406 is 506,160 payments, which is the full amount that would be paid. So we take 341,478 away from 506,160, and we get a true savings of $164,682, which is a fantastic savings for your clients. So if your client can pay extra off their loan, make sure they do it. Okay, we're moving towards the finish. And the next step we're going to do is calculate the outstanding principal on a loan at a future date. So how much will I be owing in 5 years, 6 years, 7, whatever, 10 years? So let's have a look. We've got an example here. The client wants a loan for $200,000 with an interest rate of 7.5% over 25 years. How much will be owing in 10 years' time? Well, let's see if we can work that out. So what we need to do is calculate the monthly repayment. So let's start from scratch. We all know how to do that. But remember, it was 25 years, so we go 2, 5, shift, N. And the number of payments over that term is 300. Interest rate is 7.5 into IYR. The principal amount or the loan amount is $200,000. Don't forget the minus into PV. 0 future value, and the payment is $14.77.98. So that's what we've worked out. Now what we want to know though is how much will we owe in 10 years' time. So how do we work that out? It's very simple. We've got the monthly payment displayed on the screen here. We simply press 10, which is the number of years in the future, shift and N, so then it comes up with 120, so after 120 payments, how much we'll be owing. So the calculator is all done, all calculated, and we just have to push FV. And that is the answer, $159,435.02. Okay, calculating the outstanding principal on a loan at a future date. We've got a couple of examples here, or an exercise I'd like you to do. I'll go along with you and I'll do it as well. So let's go on the first one. You'd written a loan for a client with a loan amount of $190,000 with an interest rate of 7.32 over a 30-year term. What would be the outstanding loan amount after 10 years? Let's work that out. So that's very simple. Remember, it's quite easily monthly payment. 30, shift N, 7.32 IYR, and the loan amount is $190,000 Don't forget the minus into PV, 0 future value, and the payment for that is, over 30 years, is 1305.17. But they don't want that. We want to know how much is owing in 10 years' time. So therefore, 10 shift N, which is 120 payments. What's the future value? Just push FV. The answer is 164, 250 and 4 cents. Next question. If the clients had made $100 per month extra on top of their minimum repayment, what would be the outstanding loan amount after 10 years? Let's work out that one too. Start off again with the same calculation. 30 shift N, 7.32 IYR, 190,123,190,000 plus or minus PV, 0 FV, and the payment is, as we remember, 1305.17. But we're making $100 more in the payment, so we add on $100, so plus 100 equals 1405.17. Enter that in as the payment in the calculator, and then we just push 10 shift N. So after 120 payments of that amount, the future value will be 146,633.37. So we take that away from 164, 250 and 4 cents, and the answer will be, for number 3, $17,616.67. That is how much they would save by paying $100 extra per month after that 10 years' time. So that's the finish of the financial calculator today. I hope you've enjoyed our session today on the Hewlett-Packard hp10bII financial calculator. I've certainly had fun showing it to you, but I think the main thing is for you to pass on to your clients the savings that they will achieve by doing a few of those little tricks that we've learnt today to save them absolutely thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm sure you'll be able to do it. So remember, whenever you see a client, whenever you're out there doing a loan, that the financial calculator is always your friend. It's always the client's friend too. So I hope you enjoy it. Keep on practicing and get the hang of it. Thank you.